gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Weston Racing, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at one of the main lines of all time. This is definitely one of the main line sets of all time. 2024, there we go. Hot Wheels 2024 mainline with the First Response collection. I did find it really weird that in 2024 they renamed the First Response, or they renamed Rescue to First Response. This isn't the first time they've done this. I actually don't know why Hot Wheels does this, where from time to time they'll just periodically rename entire series instead of keeping the original name. Like, if I remember correctly, the Metro series was originally called City Works before they renamed it, which was kind of strange. And like in 2026, they're renaming a bunch of stuff. The Hot Trucks series is now called Truckin' Along. There was another one. The Roadster series was renamed to Drop Tops, which is kind of weird. There was a big one that got renamed, and I can't remember what it was. It was the I can't remember. Anyways, they renamed a bunch of stuff for some reason, and I don't know. Like I said, they keep doing it, which is kind of weird, and it's strange. Anyways, this was probably one of the weirdest ones in my opinion, because the Rescue series has been around forever. Everybody knows the Rescue series. It's one of the most famous Hot Wheels series, and they decided to change the name to First Response for some reason. I don't know why. But anyways, today we're going to be taking a look at 10 rescue vehicles. This is honestly one of those series that I kind of look forward to every year, but I'm not going to lie, ever since they changed the name to First Response, the series has just been bad. 2024 set was okay. It had a couple of really good vehicles in it. 2025, the First Response series was dropped to 5 vehicles instead of 10, and it was just crap from start to finish. That series fell off so hard, it's not even funny. So very disappointing, and I have not seen if the Rescue or First Response series is returning in 2026. So yeah, with that being said, here we go. We're going to go ahead and get right into it. There are 10 cars we're going to look at today's video, and yeah, we're going to start with this one here, which is the very fitting Dodge Charger, because Weston Racing lore for you, in case you didn't know, I drive a Dodge Charger as my car. So I love me a Dodge Charger. Might be slightly biased. But yeah, our first vehicle here is the 2015 Dodge Charger SRT. This is a newer generation than what I own. I think mine's a 2011 if I'm not mistaken. 2011 or 2014. I can't. My mom had a Ford Explorer, and then I have my Charger. One of those was a 2011, the other one was a 2014, and I can't remember which one's which. I think mine's the 11. But yeah, here's our first one here. As you can see, it is a Hot Wheels Airlines Rescue Marshal is what this vehicle is. So it's an airport, I guess the airport fire marshal. And then as you'll see later, we have an actual airport fire truck in this set, so that's pretty sick. Let me get the blister off the card here. I gotta find a new spot to put blisters. I'm running out of room. All right, here we go. Oh, I didn't show the series here. Be the first on the scene with emergency response vehicles. First responders, word for word. That's literally what that means. So here we go. Here is the runway marshal car. We got a red body, black chassis. It's got the Hellcat logo. That's sick. Got black tires with dark gray rims and a yellow window insert on the side panel. You got Hot Wheels Airlines runway marshal number 2 with the fire engine caution tape design. Dodge Hot Wheels. Pretty cool. Honestly, pretty nice looking car. Wish they would have done up the front end though. In the front, you got the number 2 Hot Wheels Airlines with the striping. Got the light bar going to the back there. And then you got that black stripe on the trunk. I don't know why they decided to paint the trunk black. That's really strange. But yeah, there you go. There's your first car of the set right there. Not a bad one by any means. Pretty solid. Yeah, that's really all I got to say about that. Definitely looks like I will say, I do think it's really cool. Like, looking at the interior of this car, it is pretty spot on to what the interior of my car looks like. Like, the only thing I would say is that the center console isn't quite correct. Like, my car has a bit of a different center console, but the rest of the vehicle is pretty much just spot on, and that is really fun to see. So there you go, there's that one. I like to nerd out a little bit, in case you can't tell. If you're new here, I do like to get nerdy with my vehicles. That sounds strange. Anyways, let's jump into the next one here. This set does have a treasure hunt, and that is actually our next vehicle here. This is the 1947 Chevy Fleetline, and it is an old school police car. Now, let me tell you something. This thing is sick. I would almost argue this was actually the best treasure hunt of 2024. This thing is awesome. I fell in love with this thing the moment I saw it. It is so cool. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this one out of the packaging since it is a treasure hunt. Would also help if I had my knife on me, which was over at my desk because I put together a new Mattel Brick Shop set last night. When they did the first wave of Brick Shop sets, the one that immediately caught my eye was the custom Chevy Camaro. And I was like, that's the one. Like, out of all of these, that's the one I want the most. And I got it, and I finally put it together, and I can tell you, it was worth the money. Pretty awesome looking car. Speaking of awesome looking car, look at that. Oh, the chrome. Oh, that's so nice. So nice. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at it here. As you can see on the card, congratulations. This symbol means you just found a collectible treasure hunt vehicle. That feeling will never get old. I am convinced of it. Alrighty, here we go. So here is the Chevy Fleet line. Look at how good that looks. Old paddy wagon. Well, not a paddy wagon, but kind of like that similar era as the paddy wagon type vehicles. You got a black body, a chrome chassis, black tires with white walled rims, which is super sick looking. That blue tinted window insert. You got the Hot Wheels logo, the Hot Wheels Police, I think is what that says. Hot Wheels Patrol with the police star and the Circle Flame logo for the treasure hunt. 68 with the white paneling on the doors. Very, very solid. On the front end, you got chrome detailing you got a chrome grill insert, police on both sides of the hood, and 68 there with the little sun visor. I do wish there was maybe just a little bit more paint detail on it, even if it was just like a couple headlights, a little tail light art here, maybe the word police across the back, the trunk. Either way, easily one of the best treasure hunts I've ever seen in my entire life. It almost made me upset when this was first released that it was a treasure hunt, because I knew it was going to take me forever to find this thing. And that made me upset because I really, really wanted this car, and I'm so glad that I have it. This thing is an absolute beauty. So there you go. That is your Chevy Fleet line, your treasure hunt for the set. That thing is an absolute work of art. Oh my God, I love that. Easily the best car of the whole set. I'm going to tell you all right now. I know that's the second vehicle, but I promise that is the best car of the whole set. All right, number 3 of 10 here is a Runway Rescue. Gets our first fantasy vehicle of the set. And as you can see, as I teased earlier, this is our airport fire truck of the set. I do have to ask, and as somebody with a little bit of the tism, if I ever get a burr up my rear end about something and I want to know something, I will totally sit down on my computer. That sounds terrible. I will totally sit down at my computer and hop on Wikipedia and just look at articles for hours on end. And this is probably going to be the next hyperfixation that I do. I have always wondered why airport fire trucks always have a specific look to them. Like, you know what I mean? Name one time outside of an airport you've seen a fire truck that looks like this. I think Army fire trucks maybe look like this, but seriously, airport fire trucks have always had a unique design that looks like this. And I want to know why. What's the reason? Why do they have the special design? I know that the nozzles on the hose here, the reason why they have these nozzles is because they're cupped in a way. I think I can show it right here. They're cupped like this, so that way when the water comes out, it doesn't come out as a jet. It comes out as a spray like this, and it covers more area. Kind of like how the garden hose, when you buy a garden hose with the spinning head, you can make it change functions. This is that fan function. It actually does. Oh yeah, by the way, like 5 Alarm, this has a moving ladder. But yeah, it actually is set up to do a spray, so it covers more area. But like I said, I've always been curious, just build-wise, why do they always look like this? Thinking specifically of Sentinel Prime from Transformers Dark of the Moon. That specific version of that specific fire truck, you would only see that in an airport. Why? What's the reason, So there's that, I guess. Maybe it's the same reason why like mail trucks are so unique, why like the OG mail vehicles, they were made specifically for the post office. Maybe these airport fire trucks are made specifically for airports by a brand that specifically does that, and this is just their trademark look. That could totally be the reason. But anyways, with this specific one here, we got a blue body with a yellow chassis, black tires with dark gray rims, and a red window insert. Thank you if you stuck around through that rant there, but it shows you the true fans right there. Let's go ahead and take a look at this thing up in detail. Got a number 5 on the side here, Hot Wheels First Response with some yellow stripes, a white ladder, and then all the boxes down on the side here, highlighted in red and white. Red fenders as well. Pretty sick paint. Honestly, pretty good paint scheme. Like, I would totally, like if I was building a diorama, I would totally use this as an airport fire truck. It is just fantasy enough that it still looks like a realistic airport fire truck. And I like that a lot. It is this is a very good looking truck right here. You can see the huge bumper bar on the front end. You got all of those lights there with these. I think these are also hoses on the front, if I'm not mistaken. Pardon the loud noise. I think they are. I think those are also water cannons on the front. I could be wrong about that. They look like water cannons. I mean, what else would they be? I guess maybe fire extinguishers? I have no clue. Which, let's be honest, isn't that just a fancy name for a hose, a fire extinguisher? But yeah, you can see here on the ladder, you got all the water pipes going up to the nozzle here. All the gauges in the back to control the water pressure. There's a ladder, the hose back here. You've also got more hose up here. Tell you what, man, biggest mistake you can make as a firefighter is not having enough hose. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Very, very cool release. I'd almost say that's probably the second best vehicle of this set. Very clean fire truck. And now that we've spent 90% of this video talking about a singular fire truck, let's go ahead and jump into our next car, shall we? Next up, number 4 of 10 is the Humvee, and this is a Hot Wheels tactical vehicle. So it's like it's an armored police vehicle essentially, which it's a Humvee, you know. I mean, like that's not surprising. Let's go ahead and rip her open. Hit him up with the old Ripperella. There we go. Let's see. I will say shelf appeal, because that is something that a lot of collectors I don't think ever take into consideration when they talk about these vehicles. Like, yeah, holding it in your hand, it may be good, but let's talk about it sitting on a shelf at a store. Like, you're walking past and you see this on the shelf. I won't lie to you, for a basic little Humvee, at least for me, very basic. This one doesn't have good shelf appeal in my opinion. Now, if you like Army vehicles that are more simple paint scheme wise, this is probably more for you. So we've got a gray body with a metal chassis, black tires with black rims, and a blacked out window insert. On the side panel, you can see tactical response. All the door hinges and handles have been painted in, which looks pretty cool. And then that little symbol on the side says Hot Wheels First Response with the little badge here. See, when I look at this, I think of like Gotham City, the police vehicles that they showed up to the bank with during the scene in Batman Begins. I think it's Batman Begins. It's the one with Two-Face and the Riddler. It's when they're at the bank, and then these are the police vehicles that show up during the bank robbery scene. I could be thinking of a completely different movie for all I know, but this is that vibe that it gives off. It's like it's a SWAT vehicle. I think of a SWAT vehicle, which I think is, again, tactical response. I think that's what this is supposed to be. Got a black vent on the hood. I think that's meant to be an antenna or receiver, maybe? I have no clue what that is. If you guys know anything about Humvees, tell me what that little black dimple is right there. I'm really curious. And then on the back, you've got Hot Wheel. That's fascinating. Oh, it does say Hot Wheel. It doesn't say Hot Wheels. That's really interesting. Hot Wheel First Response. The Hot Wheels logo, black stripe. Very simple vehicle, but honestly, I think it kind of works for it. For it being a tactical vehicle, it having a simple paint scheme actually is kind of fitting. I zoomed out a little bit too far there. So there you go. There's the Humvee. All right. Number 5 of 10, we have the Nissan Patrol Custom. This one is a mountain rescue or a snow patrol vehicle, which, you know, in the world of first responders, I feel like this is an area that a lot of people never consider is mountain rescue, or dare I bring it up, the Forest Service. As somebody who lived on the Oregon coast, there were Forest Service vehicles everywhere. They were just as abundant. I'd almost argue there were more Forest Service vehicles out on the road than police cars. Which I'm glad that Matchbox makes so many Forest Service vehicles, because it's like I get to relive my childhood. And, you know, as somebody who lives in Wyoming now, we don't have very many forests around here, so Forest Service vehicles are nowhere near as abundant. So, yeah. You have a higher chance of seeing one of these rolling down the road, a tactical vehicle, than you do a Forest Service vehicle where I live, which is kind of depressing. So anyway, here's your mountain rescue vehicle. Oh, the window's cracked. Oh yeah, what in the world? Look at the windows on mine. That's all sorts of scuffed up. Holy crap. Holy crap, what? Dude, my windows are dinged up real bad on this. Holy crap, I wish I would have noticed that before I ripped it. Actually, it almost looks printed on. I wonder if that's intentional. That might be intentional. I don't think it is, but it kind of looks like a mountain range, does it not? Like, it kind of looks like they intentionally printed that on there. I'm gonna have to Google after this. That might have been put on there intentionally. I don't know. It looks just weird enough. It might be intentional. Anyways, here you go. Here's your mountain rescue vehicle. You got a red body, a white chassis, white tires with black rims, and a really interesting tinted window insert. On the side panel, you got mountain rescue, the Hot Wheel first responder emblem right there, snow splatter, and then you got some stripes going down the side. Again, creating that same caution pattern that we saw before with this guy. Different color of red though. Now that I got them side by side, I do see that that is a different color of red. On this side, it's the exact same thing, but mirrored. Front end, there's really not a whole lot to see. On the top, you got rescue with the caution, all that snow drifting, which that looks really good. The back end, you really ain't got nothing there. I will say, paint scheme wise, this is probably the best paint scheme vehicle in this set. Also, look at that. That's one thing I love about this casting. You can see all the engine detail there with the pipes and the turbos and everything. That's really nice. I like that. So yeah, very cool. Again, I'd probably say that this is my third favorite vehicle of this set. I actually really like that one too. A snow patrol vehicle, very, very sweet. Also just a really cool looking vehicle in general. Alrighty, here we go. We are now into the second half of the video. We've got 5 more cars to go, so let's go ahead and get right into it with easily one of the greatest vehicles ever made. Probably the best Hot Wheels casting ever. Number 6 of 10, the Baja Bison T5. Remember the giant meme surrounding these where like for a while there you were just unable to find these because every Hot Wheels collector was going after them? The casting was literally so bad that collecting communities made a joke that they were like ultra rare unspoken vehicles, and then it just became a giant joke that everybody started running after them. So I don't know, I always said for what this is, it being an electric Baja semi truck, it's pretty good. Like, I'm not gonna hate on this whatsoever. Is it my favorite thing in the world? No, but for what it is, it's pretty good. Anyways, with that being said, we've got a black body, a dark gray metal chassis, black tires with orange chrome rims, and an orange window insert. On the side panel, Hot Wheels first response, Hot Wheels graphics, and then you got all this really cool graphical design with the stripes. What does that say? SF Motorsports. So I honestly don't know what this is supposed to be. I guess a recovery vehicle for Baja racing. I guess that's what this one's supposed to be, because it really doesn't say. If anything, it just looks like a race vehicle because it says it's got a sponsor on it, which is really weird. This side's exactly the same but mirrored. You can see the front end there, all that detail in the back with the 2 spare tires. Like I said, for what this is supposed to be, it's actually a pretty solid casting. Again, not my favorite thing in the world, but the fact that this is, supposed to be an electric Baja truck, semi-truck, I think they nailed the design perfectly, because that is exactly what it looks like. So there's that. Next up, number 7 of 10, very fittingly, is the 2007 Chevy Tahoe. And this one is just a rescue vehicle. I'd say it gives off fire chief vibes personally. So yeah, let's go ahead and open her up. This is another casting that I know is very sought after if it is a metal body variant of it. Because I know for a fact that the metal body ones are very sought after. It's also probably the oldest casting that we're going to look at in today's video is this guy right here. So we've got a yellow plastic body. Is that metal? I honestly can't tell if that's metal or not, but we got a black chassis, black tires with red chrome rims, and a red window insert. On the side panel, you got Hot Wheels RSQ for Rescue Team 5, and then you've got the black stripe down the side with the red stripes as well. Same thing on this side, but mirrored. And then other than that, there is no paint detail on this. This one is very barren. I feel like it could have used a lot more. However, I will point out that this is the second vehicle now that has had Team 5 written on it, and I find that very interesting. It almost makes me wonder, it seems like there's a very heavy amount of airport fire truck vehicles that I'm seeing in today's video, which is kind of interesting. Because I think the mountain rescue vehicle did not, that didn't, that said number 2 on it. Yeah, the airport fire truck and the fire chief vehicle both said Team 5 on them, which is kind of strange. Alrighty, going into our next one here. It would not be a first response video if we did not have a Japanese police car, which is funny because we never have like European police cars, but we always have to have a Japanese police car. And this is the Mazda RX-7, number 8 of 10 for this set. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really a fan. I don't think this, I think personally, like out of all the Japanese vehicles that you could have picked to be a police car, this was definitely one of the worst ones. I'm not a fan of this car in general. I think the Mazda RX-7 is just an ugly car to begin with. So, I mean, we're not off to a great start here. I will be honest, one of the only cars I'm actually missing recolors-wise for 2024 is the black version of this car. I never found the black one for some reason. That one was very hard to find. So here is the RX-7 police car. We've got a white body, black chassis, black tires with gold rims, and a tinted window insert, almost blacked out. You got police, that is Hot Wheels in Japanese right there. And then JN Co, I think is what that says. And Hot Wheels, black stripes, red stripes, you know the drill. Very Japanese police car. I will say one thing I got to give Hot Wheels credit to is when they make police cars, they get the paint schemes down pretty good. Like when I look at this, I think, oh yeah, that is definitely a like covering this top part here. When I look at this, I'm like, yeah, that is a Japanese police car, because name one time you've seen a American police car that has a livery like that. Like that is usually what Japanese ones look like. Mazda with the black striping on the front. Again, pretty barren car, all things considered, on everything else. It is better than the Tahoe, I'll give it that. Like it does get the paint better, paint detail better. Okay, next one is very interesting. I don't even know what you would necessarily say this one is, but next up we have the 2010 Camaro SS. Now, when I looked at this, I thought it was a pace car because it says response team on the side, and that's it. That's all we get to work with here. So I'm assuming that's what this is that it's a pace car. Either that, or once again, I'm thinking it's a runway rescue vehicle, because note that it is a toxic green color. And again, that is usually a color you see with airport fire trucks and stuff. So I'm thinking this is probably another airport vehicle, but I'm not 100% sure. So we've got a lime green body, black chassis, black tires with black rims. Does this glow under black light? Hold up. It does not. That is disappointing. Black tires with black rims and a blue window insert. On the side panel, you got Hot Wheels response team with these blue stripes going down the side. Same deal on this side. On the hood, you got Hot Wheels response team, all the detail with the pinstriping and everything. Like that kind of phantom racing stripe. That's really neat. No detail on the front or back. Does have a bully bar though, and a light bar. So yeah, like I said, it's either a airport response vehicle or it's a pace car. That's my guess. I have no clue otherwise what that is supposed to be. But I do know what this one is. This is your final vehicle for today's video, number 10 of 10. We've covered police cars, we've covered Japanese police cars, we've covered airport rescue vehicles, mountain rescue vehicles, tactical units. We've even covered race rescue vehicles, but there's one thing we haven't covered in today's video, aside from the Coast Guard, aside from the national parks rescue vehicles. There's one main style of rescue vehicle that we have not covered yet, and it is, of course, for all the doctors and nurses out there, the EMS. And today we have our final car, number 10 of 10, is a Rapid Pulse, your ambulance for today's video. And this is a new for 2024 casting. Let's go ahead and read up on it, shall we? 2023 El Segundo, California designer Hot Wheels race to the rescue in this modern hybrid rapid response ambulance. The battery charges via solar panels on the roof, and it features a supercharged mid-engine big block plus electric motors. So it is a hybrid. That is fascinating. I did not actually know that. I thought it was an all-electric ambulance. It's actually a hybrid vehicle. Hey, I can stand behind that. I've been saying for a long time now, I think we should stop the race for electric vehicles, quit changing everything over to electric vehicles. Let's perfect the hybrid first and then jump to electric cars. That's my personal belief. Feel free to argue in the comments. I'm probably not going to argue back, but that's just my thoughts. Anyways, Rapid Pulse is a hybrid ambulance. I never thought I'd see that. Let's go and look at it here. I will say this casting does have a very gory detail with it. I'll show you what I mean. If you've never seen this one out of the package before, this casting has a very interesting detail. So here's the Rapid Pulse. We have a white body, a red chassis. It is really sad the downgrades on the chassis. Like, I kind of like how uniform modern Hot Wheels chassis are, but remember when they used to have all the detail and stuff on them? It's just, I don't know, man. I miss the old Hot Wheels chassis. Like I said, I'm a sucker for things that are nice, neat, and clean, but I really do miss when they had, you know, like this going on. I do like that a lot better. I do think this is nice, but I also like that too. I don't know. I'm weird. This is a Trackstars vehicle, which is fascinating. On the side panel, you've got Rapid Pulse with the heart monitor thing going on there. I forgot what it's called, with black stripes going down the side. And then you got, this is really cool, they got the little medical symbol with that would normally be the staff with the snakes around it. This time it is a staff with Hot Wheels logos on it, which is pretty sick. And then emergency up there. Yes, that whole spoiler is a solar panel, which is pretty cool. And then on this side, we got the exact same thing, but mirrored. In the front, you can see the Hot Wheels logo embossed in the grill. Got the lights up front. This is interesting. Look at that. It's got like a racing setup. So the driver of the ambulance is literally sitting dead center in the middle of the vehicle. I don't know how I'd feel about that, if I'm being completely honest. Like, a big vehicle like an ambulance, well, not a big vehicle, like we're not talking semi-truck here, but like a bigger vehicle like an ambulance, I don't know how much I'd enjoy being front and center on the vehicle. That would be weird. And then on the back, you have fans. Are those taillights or fans? Those look like fans. I think they're supposed to be taillights. Okay, now here's the detail I was talking about. If you look on the inside here, you can see oxygen tanks. You can see that big block motor is literally just exposed in the middle of the vehicle. That's hilarious. You got your tools over here. I think that's supposed to be a heart monitor right there. I mentioned the heart monitor and my phone died. That was creepy. Anyways, as I was saying, there is a detail on here that is really gross. If you look, there is a man in the back of this ambulance with his chest cavity, or just his whole abdomen, looks like it's flayed open. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think that's actually what this is. I think it's a driver holding a steering wheel, because that's what it looks more like. But when I bought this the first time, I was like, that is literally a dude with his chest ripped open in the back of the ambulance. That is horrifying. I don't think that's actually what that's supposed to be. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be a guy holding a steering wheel, because it looks like he's wearing a helmet too. So I think, I don't know, like I said, very, very weird. Also, proportions wise, the man in the back of this ambulance is massive compared to the dude in the front of the ambulance. So like, I don't know, this whole vehicle from start to finish has got me asking a lot of questions, you know what I mean? But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, that is all we have for today's video. Bringing all the cars back on screen. Like I said, very much a set that I would say isn't that great. Like, don't get me wrong, I like the variety. I like the fact that we went through and we got some different vehicles here, but at the same time, I kind of would just like to see a fire truck. You know what I mean? Just a standard red fire truck, or a standard black cop car, or a standard white ambulance. Now, don't get me wrong, we did get a fire truck, a cop car, and an ambulance, but I feel like we just need more of that. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, I like the variety, but I also like the simple stuff. I just, you know, like a fire truck, an ambulance, and a cop car. I think it's just cool to see that kind of stuff. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, that's all I got for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next diecast unboxing video. Thank you, and good night.